Hello lovelies, I'm Angela. This is Parisienne Farmgirl. Welcome to my Everyday Château. So last week we sat over here at my vanity and I shared with you what makeup I am using right now, early 2025, everything that's inspiring me, everything I'm enjoying. And I promised you that I would give you a nightstand tour. Now, what that means is that I'm going to share with you my skincare. And I love skincare. I'm a skincare junkie. I have been taking care of my skin pretty religiously since I was about 12 years old. It was something that intrigued me as a 12-year-old just to manage acne and hormonal changes. And I remember I started with Baby Magic baby soap and Baby Magic moisturizer and Sea Breeze as a toner. That was my skincare routine when I was 12, and that was just the beginning. So today we're going to look almost 38 years later at my skincare routine, and I'm going to share with you all my indulgences and everything that I really enjoy doing, some products that I couldn't live without, and just sort of unpack this special treat that I give myself. I take care of my skin every morning and every night, and then a few times a week just for fun, I just slather it with all sorts of stuff. But first, I am so happy to be partnering with Birch Mattress for National Sleep Awareness Month. A good night's sleep can reduce stress, improve your mood, help with mental focus and clarity, helping you get those important tasks done during the day. Sleeping on a Birch mattress is a dream. Birch mattresses are responsibly crafted. There's no formaldehyde. There's no flame retardants. In fact, they're made with natural sheep's wool, organic sheep's wool, and that acts as a natural flame retardant. There's no polyurethane. So for National Sleep Awareness Month, Birch is offering Parisienne Farmgirl viewers 25% off their Birch mattress. The great thing is they're going to deliver it right to your home. They can even take your old mattress away for you. That's right, it's going to come rolled up in a box right to your door. Easy to unpack. So participate with me in National Sleep Awareness Month. Enjoy this fabulous 25% off discount by visiting birch.com/Parisienne Farmgirl. They have a 100-night sleep trial. The link is right below in this video description. And thank you to Birch for sponsoring today's video. I do keep everything here at my nightstand because it is sort of a little evening ritual. With a big family and being an entrepreneur, I have a lot going on, and so I do work out in the mornings. That's one way I take care of myself, and carve out time for myself. And then this 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 minutes in the evening is really special to me. It's actually part of how I tell my body, okay, it's time to calm down. The day is over. You get to relax. No more flight or fight. This is part of my evening ritual, and I think it's really important for your health to have an evening ritual and to let your body know it's almost bedtime, we're doing this, and what better way to, it's a twofer, right? So I get to take care of my skin and I get to tell my body it's the end of the day, it's time to relax, it's time to check out. The reason that I went with Birch as my sponsor for this video in particular is so that I could speak really freely. You know, there's skincare that I promote on the channel and I promote on my podcast, but I don't use anything exclusively. And so I wanted to speak really freely and authentically to you about how I do take care of my skin. So I'm going to be covering a variety of brands today. And so last week I shared with you my awesome red light mask from Foreo. This video is not sponsored by Foreo. You should get one. I'm going to put all the information in the link below. Today's sponsored by Birch Mattress because I'm obsessed with my Birch mattress, and I just wanted to be able to speak about everything that I use. So let's start with washing my face. I do wash my face every morning when I wake up and every night when I go to bed, and there's a few different products that I use. So you're going to see that I'm not loyal to one line specifically. I think there are a lot of great things out there, and because of where I live and what I have access to, I'm buying throughout the year kind of according to what's going on. So when I'm in Paris, I'm stocking up on Caudalie. When I'm driving through the city, then I'm stopping at Sephora or Trader Joe's, and I'm getting some of my favorite products from Trader Joe's. I have some favorite products from Toups & Company. I love them. So, okay, let's start with that. I'm washing my face morning and night. I do enjoy makeup, which you saw last week. This is called Sea Buckthorn Cleansing Oil, and it's by Toups. There you go. I'm crazy about this product. So it's kind of this idea of oil dissolving oil. This is one of the things I use to wash my face. It smells magnificent, and it's this idea of oil dissolving oil, and it's a great way for me to take off my makeup at night. It's a great way for me to refresh my face in the morning. I was really skeptical about the idea of using an oil cleanser. I had heard about it, but it's been a few years now, and this is by far one of my favorite. Let's see, can we focus? There we go. One of my favorite products. Another cleanser that I love, I get from Trader Joe's when I drive through the city, and it is their tea tree face wash. I've always had oily skin or combination skin, not really dry patches, so probably more oily skin, and still even today prone to acne. If I don't take care of my face, I'm going to get acne. I have to wash my face in the morning. I have to wash my face at night. If it's a real heavy makeup time, so last week I shared with you sort of my everyday makeup routine, and then I talked about maybe wearing more makeup during the evening. So if it's a heavy makeup, if I'm going out, if I'm gonna have a lot of foundation on and it's gonna be really layered, or it's a day like in Paris where I'm in and out of the metro and I'm sweating, and then I've got a lot of makeup on, and then I'm sweating again. Perspiring would be a more romantic, feminine word. I'm perspiring because the metro is a swamp half of the time. I'm bringing this with me, and I'm using the Trader Joe's Tea Tree Wash. It's incredible if you have children that struggle with acne, or teen daughters, or just, I can't say enough about this. It's $7.99. It's incredible. And it has a lot of essential oils in it. Some really good, it's Castile soap, tea tree oil, glycerin. Again, the things I'm sharing with you today, some of them are going to be clean, some of them are going to be not clean. I would encourage you, based on your convictions, to do your research using the Skin Deep app and see what you think. Ironically, this is a phenomenal stain remover. I do keep this readily on hand for the laundry room. And when I'm traveling for stains, it's freakishly good on stains. And I don't think that's really something Trader Joe's is promoting, but this is amazing. To take your makeup off, to clean your face, get a really, really clean skin. It's going to maybe strip it a little bit more than necessary, but sometimes you just gotta do that. Another favorite cleanser is by Caudalie. This is a favorite brand. It's been on my nightstand probably for the last, I would say 25 years. I think about 25 years ago it was released via Neiman Marcus in the United States, and this is their Lait du Monde Démaquillant. So it's an almond milk makeup remover, and I'll hold that up to you. You can see how much I love it. I buy a nice big one when I go to Paris. You can get that here in the United States. Obviously, if you're in France, stock up. Leave some room and some weight in your suitcase for Caudalie products because they are more affordable at the pharmacies in France. I always encourage my guests to stock up. In fact, a lot of times we will go to the pharmacy, and I'll tell you a funny story about that in a little while. But this almond milk cleanser, you can get it at the airports. This is one of my favorites. It smells fabulous. It works really, really well, and it is just a pleasure to use. And so those are 3 ways that I wash my face or remove my makeup I do that in the morning and at night. And the next product is something that I have been obsessed with for a long time. So right after I wash my face, I use this. Another product by Caudalie. This is their Beauty Elixir. If you have been following Parisienne Farmgirl for a long time, because she's been around forever, if you've been following for a long time, you know this is one of my all-time favorite products. In fact, at one point, I came up with a copycat recipe, and you can still find that on my blog. It's one of my most popular blog posts. But like, why bother? Because this is what it says. This is a beauty elixir, and this is what I use as my tonic or my toner these days, and I have for quite a long time now. It comes in a travel size, it comes in a full-size bottle like this, but it is multiple essential oils. So you have orange oil, myrrh, lavender, I think there's rose in here, and it creates sort of this stimulating, yummy feeling on your face. And what sold me, sorry, my kids are really loud in the background, they get to play while mom films. What sold me was it said it's a Hungarian queen 17th century recipe, and I thought, if it's good enough for the Hungarian queens, if it's good enough for a Habsburg queen, it's good enough for me. Love this. Caudalie Beauty Elixir. You can use this as your toner. You can use it as a midday spray. I take it on the airplane with me because just as we're going over the English Channel is usually when I take my makeup bag to the bathroom on the airplane. And yes, I will confess, I hog it for about 12 minutes just to get cleaned up and spruced up, revitalized. I wash my makeup off. I use this. I just kind of get refreshed after the flight, which just makes you feel so gross. I want to feel good when I land. One of my favorite products, Caudalie Beauty Elixir. By all means, if you live near a Sephora, get a little $16 travel size and tell me what you think. And the copycat recipe is on my blog as well. So this is morning and night after whatever cleanser I've used. So let me take you through a daytime routine. If I'm washing my face in the morning after I work out, and then I'm using this as a toner, a tonic, and astringent, then I am going to move right on to a really fun product, again from Trader Joe's, and this is their Hyaluronic Moisture Boost Serum. A lot of the products at Trader Joe's are dupes of more expensive products. I know hyaluronic acid is really important to the skin. It's one of the sort of top buzzword ingredients right now in the skincare world. It's actually something that we have in our bodies. So I think that's something that's really interesting. You know, when you look at people that are getting fillers, there's all sorts of synthetic fillers, and then there are hyaluronic acid fillers, which I'm assuming are a synthetic form of hyaluronic acid, not, you know, what we produce ourselves. But I find it intriguing that hyaluronic acid is something that we have in our skin already. So I love this, and I put this on before I do my makeup. I really love the way it feels. It's sort of, because it's a serum, anytime you see the word serum, it's my understanding, I'm not a pro, but it's my understanding that that's something you're doing before anything else. So that's something you're doing before your moisturizer. That's something you're doing before your sunscreen, if you wear sunscreen. And this is a nice little cheapie from Trader Joe's. I quite love it. I do try to take care of my skin from right about here to right here, and you'll see a lot of times that I'm adding it to the tops of my hands too, because obviously, you know, I've got some melasma, some spots on the top. That's where we age. It's a really, really thin area of skin, just like the under area of your eye is really thin, and it just takes a couple seconds to take whatever is residual and sorry, some mic noise there, and add it. But yeah, hyaluronic acid, Trader Joe's Boost Serum, yummy for the win. Our eye area is where we age, right? It's like, it's all happening. It's all right there. There are not a lot of oil ducts right here, and it's really thin skin, and it does dry out. And so I have been taking care of my under eye area for a really long time just because I wanted to be preventative. I'm going to share with you a few of my favorite, let me reach for it, a few of my favorite eye treatments. So this is, I'm assuming you pronounce this Patika. This is a brand that I discovered in Paris, and you can, I don't know if you can get it here in the United States in stores, but I know you can shop their website. This is an age-specific intensif instant wrinkle filler, it's called. And it says it's Botox-like botanicals. So you can see I love this product. I've been using this for a couple years now. I use about a pea size. There are very specific directions that it comes with. And I use it specifically in this area. And what I like about it is that it is instant. So it gives an instant result and it provides long-term results. I'm very, very impressed with this brand, Patika, and I will be sharing a couple more products with you that I've discovered at the pharmacies in France by this brand. This, I mean, you can see by the use. I even lost the lid, which is terrible because that means it's drying out. I will be grabbing a few more of these on my trip. I love this. So it's kind of like an instant filler, and then it provides long-term results, and you really do notice a difference. It's incredible. So this is one of my eye products. The second eye product that I use, oh, I'm sorry, we were focusing on daytime. So I would use that during the day. And then what's the next thing I'm going to use? I do get asked about sunscreen. Not a big sunscreen person because I'm not afraid of the sun. I think the sun is really healthy for us. I'm gonna definitely take a more controversial stance on sun protection. I think we need it. I think we're all walking around with an extreme vitamin D deficiency. Obviously, you shouldn't get burned. Obviously, you shouldn't get burn upon burn upon burn. But I even noticed with my children, we cut out, they were more prone to burn like that first weekend in the garden or that first weekend at the beach. And about 3 years ago, I cut seed oils out of our diet. Just doing some reading on understanding the connection between seed oils and sunburn, and amazingly, nobody burned that summer. So I will leave that to you to do your research. I'm not here to convince you, and I know that's a really controversial statement to say. I believe in more sun, not less, and I do not wear sunscreen every day. A lot of people think that they have really sensitive skin and that their skin is really prone to flare-ups, and actually sunscreen is one of the biggest skin irritants. When I do wear it is when I'm going to the beach for the day. So during the summer, the kids and I go every day for 30 to 60 days in a row. It's sort of a personal challenge after I've been gardening. And I will wear sunscreen on the beach because I'm out on the pier and it's obviously reflecting even with my hat. And I will wear it then. I am wearing sunscreen from Europe or made with EU standards. So I am buying a little Caudalie stick. It's 50. And mostly what I'm trying to prevent is furthering of the sunspots, like the melasma that I have for pregnancy. So I have a little spot under my eye and a few down here. So I'm taking this and just kind of going over the mask of my face with it. And I will use some of the zinc stick from tubes. So I'm trying to protect this area of my skin too. But it is one of those things where I love to be outside and I feel so much healthier with a tan. I feel so much healthier when I'm in the sun. So I'm basing it on feeling and some research that I've done. Again, I know what that's going to do. So to each his own. That is how I approach sunscreen, where I am not wearing it every day. And I've talked to plenty of people that once they remove it from their daily skincare routine, their face really calms down. It can be highly irritating. If you're going to use it, I would say order something from Europe because their standards are so much higher as to what they do or do not allow in their skincare. And I'm thinking it's a much safer product. Last before makeup for a daytime routine, I have, this is by Orlan, Paris Masque Anti-Fatigue Absolu. Absolutely anti-fatigue mask. Now, it's not really a mask, it's a lotion. And this was highly recommended to me by a saleswoman on the Champs-Elysees at the little pharmacy there near the Monoprix. And she wasn't kidding. So I went in saying, hey, I've seen billboards for XYZ. Can you help me find it? And she helped me find this. And that's something I really enjoy about the pharmacies in Paris. First of all, they're just like a skincare heaven. Second of all, they're really knowledgeable. And so she recommended this to me. I'll hold it up for you here. And she said it also works as a makeup primer. I've never been really that worried about a makeup primer. I'm not, I like skincare and makeup, right? But I feel like there's a lot of things that, like, I don't curl my eyelashes. Like, there's a lot of things that I'm like, I don't have time for that. So I just kind of feel like, I don't have time for a makeup primer. Tubes makes an amazing makeup primer. Sometimes I buy it, sometimes I don't. It's not really a big concern. But I was like, okay, if it can double as a moisturizer and some sort of amazing, absolutely anti-fatigue cream, I'm down with it, and makeup primer. I love this. I use it in the mornings underneath my makeup, and it's something that really feels good. And it's one of those things where you can feel the progress your skin is making. I don't know anything about it. I'm not going to be able to give you anything scientific, except that she raved about it. Cristal raved about it. Cristal. Yeah, I think it's wonderful. So I had never heard of this brand before, and I brought this home with me on the last trip. So that would be how I do my skincare in the morning. So not really that big a deal. I'm like washing it with something. I'm spritzing it with my Caudalie tonic, and then I am or am not wearing sunscreen. I'm using my little like fake Botox around my eyes, and from Paddock, this one. Okay, I'm using an eye cream, and then this, and it's taking all of 2 minutes. That's my morning routine. So there you go. There's my morning routine. And we're going to take a little break here. And I think something I really enjoyed last week with the vanity tour was sharing with you some of my pretties. So I'm going to share with you some of my pretties, and then we will move on to the big guns, my evening routine. So let's look at this. This is my vanity. These are the walls of the bedroom that we are not done with by any means. This was just sort of that, my design concept, like neutralize the ugly. So we just painted the indoor-outdoor paneling here in this room because it is a greenhouse. This is a beautiful Trumeau. I think this is so lovely. I mean, look at it. It's just lily of the valley. It's incredible. This is from an estate in Algoma. I love a Trumeau, très français. And then I have your typical boudoir pictures here on the wall. And then these little costume Parisienne plaques. Really great. This is a lampshade. This is a lampshade. Of course it's a lampshade. Very sentimental to me. This, for those of you following on Substack, where I am reminiscing about the time where I had an apartment in Paris, this is a lampshade that I found at Saint-Ouen. And I took off the little ugly lampshade from IKEA in my little Paris apartment and popped this on. And it's been with me ever since. I love it. The nightstand itself is vintage. It's probably from a series of nesting tables, the Florentine, which I love. Here, let me move this. Fabulously imperfect and perfect for me. I got it at a local resale shop for about $15. I wish she had all three of them. I bet it had a small, medium, and a large that came with it. A lot of times you see the Florentine coming in plaques similar to those, and it'll show like St. Mark's in Venice or some other Italian scene. But this table just, let's see, oh my goodness, it's so cruddy and awesome. Now let's talk about the books and the bookends. This small little book here, I found in the gift shop at Saint-Chapelle in Paris, and it is the Gospels in French. Love to be able to read this in the evening, and it's just my little French Bible. I have other full French Bibles around the house, but this is the New Testament, and it's really pretty. It's not old. They sell them in the gift shops at a lot of the cathedrals in Paris, and I have two other books from Paris. I have Pride and Prejudice and Sense and Sensibility, en français, from Shakespeare and Company. So they're beautiful. Jane Austen in French, right? Navy and green. So my two favorite colors. These sit on my nightstand. And I always encourage my guests in Paris to go to Shakespeare and Company, to stand in the line, get yourself a book and get it stamped. It's just a pleasure. Oh my goodness, I still have the ticket inside, the receipt. But I thought, how wonderful to have two of my favorite stories on my nightstand in French, with such a lovely memory of purchasing them at Shakespeare and Company. And they are held together by my other two fictional heroes, if you will. These are two chalk bookends that I call Claire and Jamie. This is Jamie, and sadly enough, he fell a few years ago, and it broke my heart. He got knocked off my desk, and I carefully crawled around on the ground and tried to put him, poor little Humpty Dumpty, back together again as good as possible. This is really great. Look, I still have the price tag. $20 from a local thrift shop. They're chalk. They're amazing. I call them Claire and Jamie because they remind me very much of season 2, or some of the earlier books where Claire and Jamie go to Paris. Let's see. Here's Claire. Looking lovely. My goodness, if any of you ever see these at a thrift shop, let me know. I would love to have another set just for when these eventually get knocked off. Oh my goodness. But Claire and Jamie, I've read all the Outlander books numerous times. They are my friends. I think those are fantastic books. They cover religion, science, relationships. Claire and Jamie are my friends. And I love these two bookstands with my Pride and Prejudice and my Sense and Sensibility. So these are on my nightstand. I have a sweet little coaster my daughter made for me for my evening, cup of tea or whatever. Sits right here. Here's another fun product from the Paris pharmacies. Super fun by Nukes. I highly recommend this. It's a golden shimmer, yummy. It's just yummy. Okay, you can use it on your arms, you can use it on your chest, on your face, in your hair. Just a fun product to have. That is what my nightstand looks like. And then more practical as far as storage, this is the little tray. So nothing crazy, just a little tray from TJ Maxx, and I love to have everything right there. This is where I sit in the evenings, and I use my mask, I do my skincare, I take like GABA and my nighttime supplements, and just wind down for the evening. And I like to have everything right here instead of in some bathroom cabinet. All right, now we're going to move on to evening time and the big guns, as it were. So actually, a few things before then. Your skin is a mirror of what's happening inside your body. So I think our skin does us a lot of favors if it's not looking quite the way we want it to. And obviously you have the natural progression and changes that happen with age. But if it's freaking out on you, or it's giving you eczema or psoriasis or acne, or just looks dull, or, your skin is trying to tell you something about what's going on inside. A lot of what we deal with our skin is an indication of what's happening in our microbiome, in our gut. So pay attention to that. Find nurse practitioner or a functional medicine doctor who will work with you there. It's not just about what you see in the mirror. It's trying to tell you something. A few things that I do for my skin, I do sauna a few times a week. I take collagen every single day, and I have for a long time. I use the Vital Proteins. You can get it at Costco, and I make a bulletproof coffee first thing when I wake up in the morning, and then later on when I have a sweet tooth, I use the chocolate flavor in my coffee for sort of like a mocha. That's a fun way that I get that nutrient in, which I think is really good for skin and hair and nails. Speaking of nails, I do keep my manicure tools on my nightstand as well. And these days I don't go in for a manicure, so I went for a long time not getting manicures, like years and years and years. And then last year I started getting a manicure like every 7 weeks. The studio where I go is pretty far from here, and it was really, really inconvenient. So I've quit doing that, and I've just gone back to my old favorite, the Impress stick-on nails. They're $7.99, and they work so well for me. They're $7.99 from like Target or Meijer or Walmart or Amazon, wherever you want to get them. And they work so well, and I can just sit here in the evening and, like file and putz while I'm watching Netflix or whatever and give myself a quick manicure. So that also sits on my nightstand. At night, as I said, I'm washing my face no matter what. I never, ever, I know never is a really strong word. I think I can sincerely say it here. I have never gone to bed with my makeup on. Ever. It's so gross. Even if you don't wear makeup, you have a lot of pollution. Even if you live in the country, there's a lot of stuff happening on your skin during the day, and do yourself a favor and clean that off at night. So I wash my face, I use my beauty elixir, and then I sit here while I'm reading or watching something or just winding down, and I go through my little routine. So for the evening, I'm going to pull out some heavier products that I really love. The first is by Toups & Co, and that is their frankincense tallow balm. Actually, before that, let's talk about serums again, because earlier I mentioned that a serum goes first. So there is a company that I discovered last year, and I don't have any affiliation with them, and it is Dr. Barbara Sturm. So she is a German skincare doctor, skincare scientist, if you will, that I discovered through Gary Brecka. So about 2 years ago, I did the gene mutation testing because I've got some big health things that I'm always trying to sort out and improve on. And so through the gene mutation testing and making those sort of dietary and supplementary changes in my life, then I found Gary Brecka's podcast. And you could specifically Google this, Gary Brecka podcast, Dr. Barbara Sturm, if you want to hear her talk. These products are made in Germany. I will tell you, they're very expensive. I personally cannot afford them on a regular basis. So I treat myself to them a couple times a year. She's got a wonderful hyaluronic serum and some other products from her that I use. This is a super anti-aging night cream, but again, very high price tag. When you listen to the interview, I think you'll see why. She is a scientist, and she is passionate about clean skincare. So not everything I use is that clean. If clean skincare and the top-notch, just scientific, advancements and just leading is important for you, I would for sure check out her website. I would listen to her interview, and I would try some of her products. They are phenomenal. So this is her hyaluronic acid. Again, just a real power player in your skincare routine, hyaluronic acid. And this is her super anti-aging night cream. So that's what I have to say about that. So I would start with a serum. Again, I'm using my Toups & Co. reparative serum. So pretty. I love that. And then in the evening, I'm also using Trader Joe's Retinol Night Serum with baobab seed oil. So this is 0.3% retinol. A lot of the products at, there we go, come on, at Trader Joe's are dupes. I don't know what this is a dupe of. All I know is that it makes my skin feel really great, and I really, really enjoy it. And it's got a very, very affordable price tag. So if you were in spitting distance of a Trader Joe's, which I am not, definitely get this and see what you think. These are the serums that I'm using in the evening. I'm either using this or the Dr. Barbara Sturm or the tubes. Often I'm using two because, like, why not, right? The more the merrier. After serums in the evening, then I'm focusing on some sort of a treatment or moisture. And again, if you're really paying attention, this is not that big of a deal. This is going by really quick. So I know we're doing a whole video to it, and it's easy to think, oh, I don't have that kind of time, but it just takes a few minutes at night to put all this on. And it's very, very enjoyable. For me, it's a way for me to wind down at the end of the evening. So funny story, we were on one of my Paris tours and using the bus stop to get to the final flea market because it's a trip out of the city and it's easier to take the bus. So all week long, I had been seeing these posters at the bus stops, and they were really pretty. They were pale pink and had flowers, and it said Schitz. And it looked like some sort of a German name, like SCHIDDTS or something like that. Sheets Magique. And it was showing like crackly skin turning beautiful. Sheets Magique. And so the joke during this, us standing at the bus stop in the space where this poster was, again, was, oh, well, that's some magic bleep. Sheets Magique, right? Okay. And it gave us all a good laugh, and it was the magic bleep. We all needed to get some magic bleep. And so we went to the flea market, and then a group of us ended up at the pharmacy later on, and we were just had the giggles. You know, it's all us ladies, and we've been hanging out together all week. And of course, all of us want to improve our wrinkles, and so we needed our magic bleep. So we went to the pharmacy, and I did not use those words, but I did ask the pharmacist. I said, I've been seeing posters throughout the city for this Sheets Magique, and I'd like to try it. What do you think? And she said, oh no, you need to try this. So this is how I found the Batika company that I shared with you a while ago. This is what she said I had to try. It was much, much better. Oh la la la, much, much better, madame. You need this. And this is a brightening renewal night peel. Well, of course, she sold me and I bought it. And this was the first product I had tried from this company. And I remember the next morning, we have a group text that we keep during the week while we're together. So before we were all going to meet for breakfast, I texted the group and I said, ladies, did you try the cream last night? Because it's amazing. The next morning, my skin had the most incredible feeling. And I know the idea, just like their botanical Botox, is long-term, but it also offers immediate results. So I know the idea was long-term results, but the next morning I felt like my face had been sandblasted down to some new texture. If it wouldn't have been all that, I would be able to admit it, but I was stunned the next morning at what my face felt like. So it's a brightening renewal night peel, and it looks just like a cream, not anything crazy. And I'm in love with it. This was sort of my gateway drug, if you will, to this brand. And I get a refill now every time I go to France. It might be available here. I've not Googled it. So go ahead and Google it, see what you think, see if you can find it. Or if you come on one of my trips, I'll make sure to reference this to you. It is incredible. And I'm very much impressed with everything that this company does. From this filler to, I'm all out of this, but I keep it on my nightstand for the next time I go, which is in just a few weeks, to an eye cream. But this Brightening Renewal Night Peel, there you go. That is, as far as like a strong product that's on my nightstand that I know is just gonna deliver, this is it. For overall moisture from about here to here, arms, hands, I love, of course, Toups & Co. Organics, their frankincense face balm. This is tallow. So there's just a very few ingredients in here, everything you can read, everything that you can pronounce. If you're very, very concerned about 100% completely clean products, I definitely recommend going with Toups. And then if you can do the budget, adding in Dr. Barbara Sturm's, let's see, can I hold that to you so you can focus on it? Her products as well. This is really yummy. This is the tallow, beef tallow balm. Of course, if you're paying attention at all, you're seeing a lot going on about beef tallow for skincare. And Emily at Toups & Company, I know the founder of this company. She's been on one of my trips. Emily is committed to ingredients that you can pronounce and things that are safe for you. They're safe for your daughters that are anabolic and still growing and going through hormonal changes. Toups & Co. is an excellent line. I love their frankincense tallow balm. It's delicious, and it feels really thick and creamy and wonderful, but it doesn't make you break out, which I very much appreciate. So there's that as far as like thick and creamy. Love it on the tops of my hands, love it on my face. Love it right here because, again, this is really, really thin skin. You're always thinking about how thin is this skin? How much has it been damaged over the years? How easily is it damaged? How much moisture and repair does it need? You don't really have oil ducts under your eyes. That's why that area dries out so fast. Your hands get really wrinkly, and you know they show age. It's very, very thin skin. You can see it and feel it just looking at it. So that's something I love the tallow cream for. A few extras on my nightstand. There are some supplements I take every night. I do take GABA, which helps me control, helps calm down my mind in the middle of the night when I roll over, so I'm not clicking over and trying to solve the world's problems. This is by Dr. Amen, Dr. Daniel Amen. It's GABA calming support. And I have, for more, like for my shins and just my feet or whatever, I do grab a vitamin E oil blend from Trader Joe's. This is just a little cheapie for some extra moisture. What else do we have hiding back here? And, oh, of course, a big, luxurious pot of the Caudalie Lift and Firm body cream. So I love a really good body butter with a lot of oomph. And this is their big and fabulous pot, and I usually get a couple of those when I go to France. Again, you can get those here. They're a little bit less expensive when I travel, so I usually I leave a space in the suitcase to bring a lot of skincare home. There's so many ingredients in the EU that are forbidden. They do not allow them, and they are allowed here in the United States. So I find that skincare purchase there is much cleaner and much safer, and so I can feel a little bit better about using it. Not everything I do is clean. I wear perfume, I get my hair colored, other things. And so when I can make cleaner decisions with my hair and makeup, or with my skincare and makeup, then I try to do that. So it's important to me. It's not a hill I'm gonna die on, but I do like to find brands like Toups that bring a really high quality and still can give you that clean stamp of approval at the same time. As far as devices and extras, this is a little old candy box where I keep all my Foreo masks. So I have Manuka Honey and one fun one called Make My Day, Overdose. So this is my little Foreo FEO. You've seen me talk about this in paid sponsorships before. I really, really love it. It has, you can see, you can kind of go through whatever LED therapy you're looking for, and just pop this little thing out and put the mask product right in there, and it's really lovely. And I'm pretty crazy about this. It's magnificent. I've been using it for quite a while now and can really see a change in my skin. So as far as they go, you know, it's a European company. They're from Sweden. They have a lot of other things they offer. You can check out last week's discount code. In fact, I'll just pop it in the comments of this video too, because they're offering my viewers a really good discount. And I think they make an amazing product, and I'm pretty skeptical and snobby, quite frankly, when it comes to this kind of thing, and really, really happy with their results. You know, as far as the tools and everything go, I've never had a facial in my life. I've never been to a spa or a salon and booked a facial for all that I love. So I love the mask. I love my UFO. There is something, I'm so sad. I had to make a decision on whether to postpone this video or not, and I didn't want to postpone it till I could order another one. I lost mine. It's by Toups & Co. and it's their Gua Sha stone. And by far, I think it's the best stone I've ever used. I want to talk to you more about it because it works so well. And I'll put a link for it in the comments. I can't find mine. I don't know what happened. I don't know why it's not on my nightstand. I know I grabbed it once a few weeks ago to show my podcast audience. And, you know, you'd think my office is a disaster for not being able to find it. I'm like digging in cushions. I don't know what happened to it. I think maybe it's very thin. I had like a stack of papers on my desk, and maybe I accidentally threw it away, which is so sad, because as far as just toning and lymphatic drainage and what it does for your skin, amazing. It's a special kind of jade that they have. It's a beautiful product, and I can't even share it with you, but I do use, as far as products go, enjoying the red light mask. I've had that, you know, probably 2 months or so. I've had the UFO for quite a while. The Gua Sha stone I've had for probably 5 months. Love it. Always wondered what all the hype was. Toups is a company that I really trust because I know the owner. So I thought, okay, if I'm going to go with hype, I'm going to go with somebody who I know personally. And it's amazing. I have to get myself another one. Those are the things that are on my nightstand. And it's a wonderful part of my day. It's something I really look forward to. That is when the gas pedal is off. It is time for me to relax, unwind. The kitchen is clean. Everything is put to bed. I've taken a sauna. I'm wound down, and now I'm just going to take care of my skin. It takes me just a few minutes, and I'll use some products every night. And then once or twice a week, I really just take some time out and I just play, and I just use everything, and it feels so good. And you've heard me say this before, that your skin is the outfit you wear every day. So, you know, we do things like we wash our clothes all the time. We buy laundry detergent. We're careful about what sort of products we buy for our laundry. We send our clothes out to be dry cleaned. We do all these things on things that can be replaced. But your skin is your skin. Like, that's what you have. You have to drink enough water. You got to take your collagen. You got to do some research and find some skincare products that work for you. Listen to your body. If your skin's freaking out, your body is trying to tell you something. Usually it's something going on with your gut. These are all things I've been really passionate about for a long time. So whoever's idea it was to last week give the vanity tour and this week give the nightstand tour, thank you. Thanks for listening to me share all these fun things with you. I will do my best to answer questions, but I've tried to formulate this where I would introduce something to you and then preemptively answer, sort of anticipate what your questions might be. I will be back next week with another video, just taking you around an afternoon in the house as I prepare to leave. Then I'm going to share with you what I'm packing for this Paris trip, and then I'm off with 17 of you. We're going to have a great time. Paris, Provence, October 2025 is sold out. So now we're looking at 2026 and or a waiting list. So I will be giving you more information about that in the near future. In the meantime, stay tuned. Be sure you're on Substack because I'm going to be updating a lot from Paris on Substack, sort of a Paris journal, and I would love for you to receive those. Watch another video, check out the trips, learn more about them. Be sure you subscribed, and I will see you all again very, very soon. À bientôt.